In this video, no one can hear you scream. These are the new and upcoming sci-fi games you'll be wishlisting, binging, and noping out of in 2022. Hello and welcome to the channel. And don't worry about that screaming thing. This video won't make you do that unless you're deathly afraid of brilliant and imaginative games set in alternate universes, the far future, space stations, and whatever's going on in Death Stranding. Sci-fi holds up a mirror to our modern culture and asks us awkward questions about the cost of scientific progress. It's a medium for social allegory, philosophy, and also happens to be a fantastic backdrop for slapping aliens and unloading futuristic weaponry. It's always been at the thematic epicenter of games, and in 2022, these new and upcoming games tell us it's in rude health, throwing up more bizarre visions of the future than ever before. Take your protein pills and put your helmet on, smash the subscribe button just before we engage the boosters, and let's venture out into the furthest reaches. It's been 18 years since Bethesda Game Studios made anything unrelated to The Elder Scrolls or Fallout. And with all respect to IHRA Professional Drag Racing 2005, we think Starfield's going to be quite a lot better. This is a studio that's become legendary at building deep, lore-filled open worlds, letting its imagination loose in the distant future. In space, hopefully, no one can hear us squee with nervous excitement. That November release date is coming up fast now, but what do we know about it? Other than the fact it's a spacefaring title set in uneasy peace times after a colony war, and that you can play in first or third person, very little. But we're actually okay with that. Bethesda's resume speaks for itself, so we're very much fine with going in blind as we explore a whole new universe with that characteristic depth and detail. We do wonder though, are there Khajiit in space?
Good luck, Constellation. You are go for launch.
In deepest, darkest 1994, a young studio called Looking Glass had an idea for a game about being stuck on a spaceship with a rogue AI that wants to kill you. That game was so mercifully effective at jangling your nerve endings that it's since become a kind of mythical figure in games. Whisper it now. System Shock. Before Night Dive released the Enhanced Edition in 2015, it was tricky to run it on modern systems, so this first face-off against Shodan is less well known than the 1999 sequel. That's all to the benefit of this full remake then, which takes the visuals up about 9,000 notches, translates the controls for modern hands, but keeps the tension and the brooding atmosphere of Citadel Station, one of the spookiest destinations in video game history. The devs are taking their time to do it right, so after a lengthy wait, expect to see it emerge later in 2022. If you played Limbo, a game about a little boy and a spider of heart-stopping proportions, or Inside, where once again, a little boy finds himself in nightmarish situations, we don't need to jog your memory. You probably still have the nightmares, just like we do. The good news is that we haven't seen any spiders yet in Somerville, the new game from former Playdead CEO Dino Patti. The even better news is that it looks brooding, stylish, and full of unnamed horror lurking just out of shot. Rather than the side-on scares we're used to, Somerville breaks out and takes you through its world in third person. A world where something has clearly gone terribly wrong, and that something involves aliens, a lot of rubble, and worrying about your pet dog. It's coming later in 2022, which gives us just about enough time to pluck up the courage to actually play it. If you've ever imagined Left 4 Dead as a piece of 70s sci-fi exploitation cinema, the Anacrusis probably already looks familiar to you. Get out of our head, game developers, right? Or, if you are going to poke around in there, at least make that crossover of The Sims and F1 2021 that we've been dreaming about. Anyway, 4 of you are taking on the alien horde here, armed to the pearly whites with preposterous weaponry, and making your way through environments that look equally equipped to host a shady scientific research operation as a disco. Like the aforementioned Left 4 Dead, special enemies turn up to nudge you out of your comfort zone, and something like the old Valve AI Director works to change the difficulty dynamically as you play. To be honest though, we'd quite like to down tools and just learn more about this world. Where did the aliens come from? What do they want? Why did the designers of this facility use so much brown everywhere? So many questions. The Anacrusis is out now, and if you're watching this video when we drop it, it's currently on Xbox Game Pass. Start the download going, then practice saying the anacrusis while you wait. The anacrusis. The anacrusis. The anacrusis. Okay, there's every chance you already know about Death Stranding, one of the biggest games in years, from one of the biggest game developers ever. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't take a second to acknowledge what a great bit of enigmatic sci-fi yarn spinning it really is. Unlike most of the genre's output, it can't be likened to Star Wars or Star Trek. In fact, it really can't be likened to anything.
Once there was an explosion. A bang which gave rise to life as we know it.
You're a courier in a post-apocalyptic future, shipping cargo across a version of the United States that looks suspiciously like Iceland. Why? Well, stay with us here. It's because the rain ages people at a hugely accelerated rate, and invisible monsters from the dimension of the dead prey on humans left alive in this profoundly odd scenario. You're genetically immune to these things, so it's up to you and the unborn baby in a jar you carry around with you to keep people supplied. It might not all make sense. In fact, now we think about it, we're pretty sure none of it makes sense, per se. But what an exhilaratingly different spin on sci-fi. Plus, it's basically worth it for the unbelievably on-the-nose, symbolic character names, including Die Hardman, Deadman, Heartman, Sam Porter Bridges, Bridget Strand. Never change, Kojima-san. With the first planned Avatar sequel arriving at the end of 2022, Ubisoft's first-person action-adventure tie-in nearly has the stage set for its arrival. At its heart, Avatar's all about nature versus corporate interests, and that sets up a juicy fight between the RDA forces and their attack choppers who want to ruin all this lush alien rainforest, and you, just a Navi with a killer bow aim and very little fear of heights apparently. A new and improved version of Ubisoft's Snowdrop engine is powering all this incredibly detailed greenery, and Pandora's trademark bioluminescent night scenes should really pop with that new tech powering it. From what we've seen so far, actually exploring the world and feeling immersed in nature is a big focus here, and we'll take that over blasters and galactic trade regulations any day. Apparently, the Callisto Protocol, published by PUBG publisher Krafton, is set in the same universe as the Battle Royale. We know, right? Where were the frying pans and the motor gliders? It's actually set on one of Jupiter's moons in the distant future, which both explains why it looks so different to PUBG, and makes you wonder why they bother to mention they're even in the same universe in the first place. It gets a pass from us though on the grounds that it's being made by several Dead Space veteran developers, including Glenn Schofield, also of COD fame, and it looks every bit as skin-crawling as Isaac Clarke's adventures.
You see this? Something ain't right.
Trapped in a futuristic prison with only this jumble of organic matter and menace for company, at least from what we've seen so far, your main task is survival. Beyond that, nobody knows what horrors await inside the Callisto Protocol, but with the names involved and the production values on this announcement trailer, we're expecting something so polished we'll be able to see our own whimpering faces in its reflection. We've come to the end of the video. And no screams! Well done everyone, so brave. To catch more videos like this, subscribe to the channel and pop a thumbs up down there if any of these are already on your wishlist. We've got an appointment to change our name to YouTube Voiceman in tribute to Death Stranding now, but we'll catch you in another video.